Welcome to Invest. We're talking about investing, finance, and professional development. As for current time of 9:39 a.m. on the Eastern Time on December 28th. Hope you guys have a good week. We are almost to 2023. Ethereum cleared $1,200, exactly $1,200, down about 0.88% so far. On the overall crypto market, as you can see on the left side of the chart, as you can see also, I shrink my head a little bit to give us more space to take a look at the technical charts. Across the spectrum is relatively flat still. We opened on 12.11 and we are at 12.01 at the moment right now. But across the spectrum, you can see that a lot of the altcoins are relatively down. It seems like Solana is currently down 10% so far, while the altcoin side of the spectrum across the board down 2.5, 1.5%, while the key coins are relatively flat. On the equity side, we are seeing some sort of a rebound today. This is just a normal course of cadence. We're going up and down, consolidating at the respective level as expected. But with respect to the overall chart that we have been talking about so far, the daily looks relatively bullish on the near term, but the weekly we do need to form a reverse head and shoulder and about to form a death cross as well. So this is just another day of oscillation on a sideways fashion. Take a look at that on the CNBC front. It seems like more trivial news, nothing really specific that's driving up or down. Seems like we are just kind of going according to cadence, but I did get some new intel on the politician side. So let's take a look at some of the things that I've been collecting recently. So let's take a look at the politician stock report real quick. It seems like with respect to just in the near term, as of 26, so a day after Christmas, you could see that this specific person, Van Taylor, Mary Newman, Bob Gibbs, and these are all U.S. Political representative. You can see that they have been quite active in terms of selling a large amount of their holdings, and you can see that with respect to the I will say just the month of December, which if you subscribe to our Patreon, you'll see that on a daily perspective. But it seems like there has been a huge amount of sale on XOM, and then LLY. So that's Eli Lilly, which is two biotech stocks for some reason. But it's good to refer to just for your FYI. And then take a look at the ARK Invest and BlackRock as well. So take a look at ARK Invest. You can see that as of the 27th, which was yesterday closing, it was a relatively red day, which makes sense because large selling pressure coming from ARK Invest. Let's see what BlackRock did. Typically ARK Invest and BlackRock, they take a more of a relatively different approach. But seems like BlackRock was also having a quite heavy sell day. Like this is collectively more than $10 billion of share they just liquidated. But take a look at the buying pressure. It's definitely not as weighted in comparison to the selling pressure. So it seems like yesterday was definitely more of a red day, driven by the whales, which makes sense. We are still oscillating, forming this reverse head and shoulder on the technical front, on the overall U.S. equity market side. Okay, and then just take a look at this on the technical front again. Right, nothing really driving anything. We are still in the trend of more of a bearish side, but nothing's like not a major level of sell-off that we should be expecting, but some normalization down to a lower level, hovering around like again, right, 1050, 1150 would be very logical. And to do that is basically to fix this elongation that we've been having so far. It seems like we've been pretty stubborn in terms of breaking through this, which I can understand. But with respect to the alignment of all the charts on the monthly, weekly, and daily, seems like daily is indicating more of a minimal sell day ahead of us before New Year's. Weeks out, we should ideally see some normalization as well as we ship onto Q1. But Q2 and on, we should ideally see some reversal, and this is clearly indicating that we are on the opposite side of the spectrum. I think worse has mostly happened already, like especially the 3 digits. So something that we are, the technical doesn't lie to us. So that's, give us a good, sanity check, for us. Like, when will this happen ideally, right? And this is the same thing applicable to Bitcoin. Currently at 16,500 technically. Large separation on the monthly, so we do need to kind of glide. But the weekly, it is a large separation in between the lines. We do need to kind of come back down to the next level. So that means like the weeks out, ideally in Q1, as we in the mid of tax season, as we hear more about the efficacy of the rate hikes, the debacle, and the negative repercussion from the FTX, explosion that we just saw collectively. Where will that be going? But I do think that, weeks away from now, we should ideally see a lower level from here. Despite the daily, it is looking quite, mitigated and very fused together. So something that we know, weekly and daily and monthly need to all align before we have that, bullish reversal. So I think the timing also matches with how Ethereum is depicting. Sometimes in, Q2, shifting onto Q3, as we shake out, all the negativity in the weeks away. And as we align on all fronts, we should ideally see some reversal, which the technical clearly shows though. So which is a good sign. Okay. So it's a relatively shorter one than usual, but have a good rest of the week. And then I will still be on call with you guys. Today's a Wednesday. Tomorrow is the 29th. We're technically like 4 days away from New Year's Eve. So it's definitely good, but I appreciate you for joining me again. And I will check you on the next one. Take care. Bye.